Hi everyone, welcome back to the tour of my colouring book collection, as well as all of my completed pages and work in progress pages for 2023. This is part 2 of the tour, and for this one we are going to look at my Johanna Basford books. Now there's not as many of these as there is Kirby, but I have done a little bit in some of these books, so I figured I would do Johanna as an artist on her own. Now, to be perfectly honest, I don't have all my Johanna books because, like many a colorist, when the colouring book craze of 2015, 2016 took off and Johanna was everywhere, I did purchase Secret Garden. And I think I had the other one as well, Magical Kingdom, the second one she produced. And I coloured in them, and I didn't really care for them, and I got rid of them. I regret that so much now, because I wish I had some of my older colouring books. It would have shown a lot of my progress in them, but yeah, I did get rid of those in some massive cleanup, and I regret it. And then when I got back into colouring, I actually avoided buying a lot of Johanna for a while because I was very used to the Secret Garden and thinking, it's just all flowers and leaves, which doesn't always interest me that much. And then I got a voucher from work for a little local stationery shop, and I was like, oh, I'll go buy a colouring book. And they had almost no colouring books. I think they had like 4 colouring books in the whole shop. I was like, oh. But what they did have was Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. And I was like, well, this voucher's going to expire. I have to use it today. I guess I'll grab this one. And I'm so glad I did, because it made me fall in love with Johanna Basford and also really appreciate a lot more of her work. And now you can see I have got a few of her books. I am missing quite a few of them, but I'm not in any rush to grab them because I'd rather pick out the ones that appeal to me more than just collect all of them for the sake of collecting them. So we will start with the one I have done the most in, which is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. And I'm just going to move all these over here. And I really, really love the fact that this is a storybook. I would like to actually finish this and then actually pass it on. I think originally I was thinking about passing it on to my niece, and now I have a nephew as like a storybook for them, particularly for my niece. But I don't think I will. I think you'll see later on, I actually do a little bit of colouring with my niece. She's free and it's so much fun. So I think when she's a bit older, I would love to buy her a copy of this book and work in it with her as we colour the story together when she's a bit older and can understand a bit more about it. But you'll see later on some of our colourings together, because yes, I do let her colour in my books. Yeah. But let's start in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. So this is the title page, and my goodness did this take a while. So this has got Neo colour in the centre, and then Faber-Castell Pitt pen around the frame. This is Polychromos. There is white Posca and white gel pen for all the stars, which I did way too many of, but also I love. And then all the silver is a Deco Colour metallic paint pen. And I just love how it turned out. The writing is not perfect, but it's pretty close for what it was. Yeah, a lot of work, but I love this cover page. And then I have done this little introduction page. This is nothing to rave about. It's literally like a felt tip and some sparkle gel pens, one of which slightly spread. It's just literally 2 minutes me sitting here just going wee with a felt tip. High effort page. Then we have the nameplate. I used chalk pastel, Polychromos, and then another Deco metallic paint pen marker. I actually got the Decocolor metallic paint pens the same day I got this book at that same stationery shop. They happened to be clearing them out, and they were $1 a piece. I was like, I'll try them, and I regret not buying every single one of them. They're so good, and they're like $9 a mark everywhere else, and if I had known, I would have bought every single one of them. Regrets. They're so good. And I love this rosy bronze gold pink colour. Oh, so pretty. Regrets. Anyway. So this one is a work in progress. It's just some Prismacolor. Slowly working on that page. I started that a little while ago. I probably should come back to it at some point. And I think I was going to carry on the same colours over here, but I'd have to colour match it because I did not write down. This is before I actually started tracking my colours, so yeah. Should really see if I can colour match them and track those colours for future. So the next one is The Room of Wonder. This was a page. Oh, I've got a folded corner. So this entire spread was done in Faber-Castell Classic Colour, which are student grade pencils. And surprisingly, this is a limited palette. I think I used 16 pencils, but I tried to limit the colours to not include pink or purple, because I always use pink and purple. So I was trying to go for more earthy tones and browns, but then also with a pop of blue because it just needed, I didn't want everything to be brown. And then I used this like apricot peach colour on the walls, and I actually really love how it turned out. Despite it not using any of the colours I love, it doesn't have any glitter, like it's not how I normally do a page, but I really like it. So sometimes it's fun to just push yourself in a different way and, you know, work outside your comfort zone. And of course these I think white gel pen on some of the elements too. And then we have this one here. So this is Distress Inks with the Decocolor Gold paint marker. Very simple but really effective. Just really quick and easy. And that's one of the things I actually made me fall in love with these Johanna books, is because there's so much freedom to like explore in backgrounds and just figure out like effects and just do random things in the book that maybe you wouldn't try elsewhere. So that's why I was like, maybe I should look again at Johanna. And then from there I started looking at some other books that maybe I wouldn't have looked at as much before. So yeah. Only thing is with these paint pens is they can leave transfer, so I will have to figure that one out, but that's okay. And then we have this work in progress page. So far I've used acrylic paint in the background and then Prismacolor, and you can just see popping through the reason why I used some black paint in the background, and that is because we've got transfer from the next page. So, you know, I could have spent been like, oh no, and not done what I did on the next page, but I love the next page, and I've managed to hide most of the bleed through. Like there's a little spot up here, but like the green, that'll get merged into the green of the plants, the yellow will get merged into the flower colour, and I'll just do something in here to sort of cover up these little bits. Like, and I would rather throw every media at a book and have a lot of fun with a book and maybe ruin the page behind it, but then you get the fun of figuring out how can I fix this page. I don't know, I appreciate the challenge. So speaking of the next page, boom, I love this page so much. It's so much fun. So what we have is Prismacolor for all the flowers, and then in the background I have, I believe, alcohol inks, distress inks, Kaisercraft shimmer spray, acrylic ink, and then the whole thing has been covered in a couple of layers of thin, of did I use glitter glue or just, yeah, glitter glue, and then I went over the top with Mod Podge. So this page is thick, she got texture, but oh, she's just so pretty. And for all that I threw at it, not that much actually bled through. There's a little bit more on this side, which you can just see, like there's a bit around the top here, but for everything I threw at this page, not a lot bled through, so I was pretty pleased with it. And oh, it's just stunning, and it's fun to rub your hands over, which you can do because the whole thing's covered in Mod Podge, so it's also very protected. That's right, it's not a glitter glue, it was my own glitter glue that I made using Mod Podge and glitter, because it was left over from another project and I just slapped it on this page. Oh, so pretty. And then we have this one. So the background is Reeves water-soluble crayons, and then a little bit of Prismacolor and some Posca, and that same glitter glue that I used on the other page. So again, I had done this page, and then I still had some left over, so I dried off the previous page, and then I slapped it on this page. And when I slapped it on this page, I had done the background, I had done the flowers in pencil, but I hadn't done any of the leaf work or the bee. And I was like, meh, that's fine. I'll just slap it everywhere. I won't worry about the leaves. I'll go back over it with pencil. Not clicking about the fact that this is Mod Podge and you can't really go over it in pencil. So when I went to do the pencil, I was like, oh, this doesn't really work. So I ended up pulling out my Poscas and going quite graphic with the leaves. I don't love it, but it works, you know. And again, it's just fun to sort of experiment and play around. I also used a tiny amount of the Deco metallic paint pens for the little bow, and then the bee has a bit of stickles, the iridescent stickles on its wings. I actually think this is Polychromos, looking at it. I think this is Polychromos, not Prismacolor. It's been a while. And then, is that all? Somehow I thought I had done more in here. Maybe I haven't. I thought I had done one towards the back, but I guess I haven't. I had a feeling I'd done more in there. It's getting pretty dirty on the outside. It was my go-to take with me book for a while, so it did live in my backpack because it was quite a good one to sort of slip in a bag and take around with me. So yeah, that's Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Then we'll get to Johanna's latest book, which is Rooms of Wonder. I love this book. I love this new style that she's heading into, where it's not so focused on leaves and plants and has more interesting elements. This is more what I'm interested in. I like flowers. I like leaves. I don't want an entire book of it. I say that I have got worlds of flowers. But yeah, I have not done a lot in here. So the first two I have done in here is the craft room. And of course I had to start with the craft room because it's the craft room. Of course I had to start here. So this is all done in Polychromos, and then the same colours I used here I also repeated for the little button sewing mandala on this side. I really liked this page when I finished it, but looking back on it, it's a little dull. I think it's the grey. It's very cold, and I did this as a buddy colour with colouring Bumblebee on Instagram, and hers is just so vibrant and rainbow and warm that I wish I had done that route. But I kind of went with this mint green, grey, black, because it's kind of matching sort of elements in my own home, as if this was a sewing desk in my own home. And yeah, like I still am happy with it. I just, if I did this again, I would go way more vibrant with it, because it's like a very cluttered desk. The only way to really go is vibrant. I think I was trying to go too matchy. Oh, I have done another one in here. That's right. I have done the little clothes, or started working on the clothes. It could be finished, it probably isn't. I'll probably go back and refine with some pencil, but this is just me experimenting with some watercolours in this book and just working on the clothes page. It hasn't bled through at all, which is lovely. But I'll probably go in and like refine little elements of the patterns and add some more shading and texture, and then try and pull these colours over to this page when I do the closet. I believe that's everything in here. It is. Yeah, there's so many beautiful pages to do in here though. I really like Rooms of Wonder. And then we have Worlds of Wonder, which is another one of the ones by Johanna that I really like, because again, it's got little florally leaf patterns, but it's got other interesting elements too. So right, so we have somewhere in here some pages. So this one has got a little bit of damage in the corners, because this one I have actually coloured in with my niece. So, you know, she's free. We started when she was 2.5, so she can be a little rough with the books sometimes. She's getting there. And so this is one obviously not coloured by my niece. This is one that I've coloured myself, or I'm working on. This is using the Faber-Castell Classic Colour student quality pencils. And yeah, it's still a work in progress, and I'm not quite sure what I'm doing in the background yet. I've still got to finish this one off, but it's cute. Might be fun to go in with like some distress inks or something and do some sort of cloud scene or something or other. And then we have the spread. Now, how this started was I was working on that page and my niece saw it and she wanted to come and help me colour. And I was like, alright, let's choose a page. And so she chose this page, or rather she just turned to this page. I don't think she quite understood. It's like, okay. And so I started colouring on this side and she started colouring on this side, and then she wanted to help me on this side, so I coloured on this side. And it was great because my niece is very active, but I was babysitting her with my mum, and she actually sat on my lap for almost an hour, and we just sat there colouring, and she would pick out pencils and tell me what colours to do and then help me colour in elements. And yes, you could look at this page and go, you know, but for me it's more about the special memories created, and I love the fact that I can look back at this page and remember that day with my niece and colouring in with her. And now when I see her, colouring in is something that we do quite often. I've given her so many pencils, and she's got a couple of colouring books, and you know, we will sit there and colour. She'll colour in hers, or she will try to come and help in mine, and depending what page I'm working on, sometimes I'll let her, sometimes I won't, so depending on the page, or I'll help colour in her books or something, you know. And when she sees me at markets or helping my mum, she comes up and she likes to look at all my pencils, and yeah, I'm making a little artist out of her. And when my nephew is old enough, I'll do the same with him too. Yeah, it's just really fun being creative with them. So yeah, nice special page. And like, you can see there's a little bit of edge over on this page. It's fine, I'll just take an eraser to it and dull it down and then be able to carry on with it. But yeah, this is another work in progress, and very much inspired by Chris Chen's YouTube time lapse, which I think a lot of people are inspired by her amazing colouring. Like, oh my gosh, so good. So yeah, definitely the inspiration for like this little strip. Eventually we'll colour in the whole thing, but you know, just another little work in progress, piece by piece. So far this is Prismacolor and White Posca and some stickles, you know, the usual combo. And that's it for Worlds of Wonder. And then we have Worlds of Flowers, which I got as a double pack with the Worlds of Wonder, so that's part of the reason I got it. I have completed a page in here because it was a buddy colour with the lovely Colouring Bumblebee, which I believe is literally the only page I have done in here. Yep. Which is this one here. So in this one I use Distress inks, Prismacolor, and a white Posca. I did not use any stickles, which is surprising. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out. It's very, very pretty. And the glow effect is really fun. Kind of do want to go back and add stickles. I'm a sucker for stickles. But yeah, Distress inks, whenever I activate them to get like the spotty texture, it does always bleed through. But that's okay, because I might end up doing a similar like watercolor background or something on the back of that one. I'm not sure. So yeah, this one, like, every once in a while I do feel like colouring flowers, so this one's here for when I do feel like colouring flowers, but admittedly I don't grab this one that often from Johanna's. And then the final two, I don't think I've done anything in either of these two. Nope. So we have Magical Jungle and Lost Ocean. So these are semi-recent purchases just because there is that new appreciation for Johanna. So I went and had a look at some of her older books, and of course there was Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest, but that didn't appeal to me so much. But I do love underwater scenes, so I was like, okay, Lost Ocean. And then once again I got a combo deal where by buying this one they became, I think it was like 40% off or something, so you know, it was like a couple dollars more to get a second book. So I was like, alright, I'll get Magical Jungle too. A lot of leaves, but there are some pages in here that look quite interesting to me. But yeah, definitely not one that I lean to as much. I do really need to do some work in them though. Ooh, come here, Ivy. I know. It's World of Wonders. So yeah, that is my entire Johanna collection. Like I said, it's not every Johanna book, but it's a small collection in them, and yeah, learning to appreciate her books again. I think the only books by Johanna that I think I would really like to invest in is actually the artist editions, because of them being single-sided and on really good quality cardstock, just so I could throw all the media at those pages. I reckon it would be a lot of fun. So that's probably, if I buy any more Johanna books, those are probably ones that I will go for, unless I get some sort of combo bargain deal, because I do love a bargain. But yeah, thank you for watching me during this part 2 of my book tour. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my completed pages and work in progress pages. Please let me know down below which is your favourite and which one you would like to see me do. Whether that's actually completing one of my work in progresses, starting a new page, yell at me and tell me I need to get my butt into gear and colour a page in Lost Ocean or Magical Jungle. But yeah, let me know down below, and I will link the previous part, which was all my Kirby books, for you down below and in the cards, so you can go and watch the other part of my book tour. And I will also link the playlist with my entire book tour, because it's a lot. But yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Bye!